What's going on, everyone? On this episode, man, we're going to be talking about Gilbert Arena's podcast or show, where he has Rashad McCants and Sheryl Swoopes and Gilbert Arenas himself. They're going to be talking about the Indiana Fever playoff chances and Caitlin Clark's dominant season that she's had so far. Let's kind of get into it so we can kind of give you my reaction and my thoughts to what was said in this episode.
You got to be able to guard somebody, regardless of who. Besides Aaliyah Boston, besides Lexi Hull, because I think Kelsey Mitchell's an okay defender. Lexi Hull, like, is a dog on the defensive end.
Yeah.
But besides those two, like, I worry about the defense. Because to your point, come playoffs, you got to be able to guard somebody, regardless of who that your first round matchup is, second round matchup is. Offensively, I don't worry about them scoring because you got Kelsey Mitchell, who I think people totally forgot about what Kelsey did at Ohio State. And then even being in the league, like, Kelsey's always been a bucket. Aaliyah Boston.
I will say this. I do agree with Sheryl Swoopes on that, is that Kelsey Mitchell is a great talent. She's definitely a phenomenal basketball player. I do believe that she is overshadowed sometimes because of the Caitlin Clark effect. But make no mistake about it. If Kelsey Mitchell is not playing, it's going to be hard for them to get a win. It's going to be hard for them to be competitive against really good teams. Kelsey Mitchell is a great asset to Caitlin Clark and vice versa, because Caitlin Clark demands attention, which allows Kelsey Mitchell to be open a lot of times to hit those shots. But Kelsey Mitchell is able to create her own shot and is able to penetrate and drive to the basket because she is lightning fast. And with that speed, she's able to take her defender off the dribble and able to do whatever she wants to do on the basketball court. So I do agree that Kelsey Mitchell is the X factor.
Is playing really well. Melissa Smith, when she's getting the minutes, she's a rebounding machine. She plays hard. Then you bring in off the bench.
Let me just tell this about Alyssa Smith. Alyssa Smith, I have a problem with Alyssa Smith, man, because she is not efficient. For me, from my perspective, from my point of view, out there on the basketball court, she's a big body, but to me, she doesn't use her body well. She looks lethargic out there on the basketball court. She looks like she doesn't have a clue. She doesn't look like that she has full of energy, but yet complains. Remember the tweet that she put out there, like a cryptic tweet based off she doesn't get the ball, like she wants to, pillow talking to her best friend. But let me just tell you this. I don't like Nalissa game. I feel like she's not a good jump shot shooter. She miss easy shots, layups. So she has to know her role. Your role is to rebound and play defense. Your necessary role is not to actually score. Your role on that team, because they have score. You have Kelsey Mitchell. You have Caitlin Clark. You have Aaliyah Boston. Those are your top three scorers. Everybody else has a role on that team. Lexi Hull roles to play defense, rebound the basketball, get in certain spots where if they're double teaming with the other three players, they'll kick it out to you and you'll have open shots. But Lexi Hull even missed layups. She missed layups. It's almost a guarantee she gonna miss a layup every time. So, I don't really care for Alyssa Smith. I think she thinks that she's better than what she actually is, especially for this team, because she's not on that team to score the basketball.
Timmy Fagbenle, who is playing very well. Demiris Dantas, who's playing very well.
Shooting the shit out of
right? And what I don't see is who is that other guard, right? Because the guard they bring in is Erica Wheeler.
Yep.
who's the other guard that you can bring in that can defend somebody?
I think that they're the women's version of the Dallas Mavericks. And I see Caitlin being Luka.
I like that.
Kelsey Mitchell being Kyrie.
I like that. Yeah.
You know, they got pieces that are very dangerous, but they haven't decided to play defense individually. Where collectively, if they did in the playoffs, it would be more team defense.
No doubt.
And they wouldn't have to focus on what we're talking about now as far as liabilities. You know?
I like Rashad McCants. I believe he knows how to break the basketball game. He's definitely a great mind of basketball. Mind the game. Y'all know who podcast that is, JJ Redick and LeBron James, but I think they done did away with that. But at the end of the day, Rashad McCants, that's a great point. The Dallas Mavericks, comparing them to, I do agree with that. I do believe they can play better as an overall team defense, and that can make them dangerous in the playoffs. They have their first game in the playoffs today against the Connecticut Sun. It's going to be difficult because the Connecticut Sun is a very difficult and physical team to play against. And I believe that's the kryptonite of the Indiana Fever, is sometimes they don't do too well when a team is very physical with them. Now, can they still win the game today? Yes, they play at 3 o'clock or 3:30 Eastern Standard Time, but they're going to have to be on one accord. And I believe they can take game one if they come with the physicality to meet the Connecticut Sun and offset that by hitting shots, playing certain defense, getting certain stops at different points in the game. If they're able to control their emotions, their mental mind state, they can definitely have an opportunity to steal game one at Connecticut Sun.
And the last thing is experience.
Yeah.
That's just, yeah.
I mean, Connecticut's been there.
Yeah. And they're older.
Indiana hasn't been there in I don't know how many years.
2016 since they made their last.
That's what I said. It's one of those things where they're just gonna have to try to just hopefully their youth.
Yeah, the energy.
Yeah, you try to beat them, try to have it out. The last, don't let it get into that last 5 minutes.
New York Knicks outplay them.
Yeah, don't let it get to a grinded out game and it come down to the 3 minutes, because that's when the veteran kicks in, right? They've been there, they've done that, and
absolutely. I do agree with what Gilbert Arenas is saying right there. Shout out with Gilbert Arenas. There are certain things I disagree with him on, but for the most part, man, the man is an NBA or former NBA player. He played at a very high level, and he was no joke on the offensive side of the ball. They used to call him Agent Zero. At the end of the day, man, who do I pick in this game one? You know, if I choose without emotions, I believe the Connecticut Sun is going to win game one. I believe that they are a very tough team. I think they're going to come with a perspective, from a perspective that they have a point to prove, especially when you're playing against Caitlin Clark, and you're playing against all the hoopla that comes with the CC effect. A lot of players seem to take that personally. And I believe Carrington is going to come. She's going to play very hard defense on her. She's going to have a point to prove. Don't forget, you have just that moxie that they're going to be very, very intentional in shutting Caitlin Clark down. They're going to be trying to be very intentional shutting down Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston. Can you stop Kelsey Mitchell? We'll see. I believe that if without emotions, the Connecticut Sun is going to win this game. Now, with that being said, with emotions, I want to see the Indiana Fever win this game. I want to see them to be able to rise above some of the hate that Caitlin Clark is getting because of the hoopla that comes with Caitlin Clark, and y'all know what I'm talking about. But I want to see Caitlin Clark then win game one and then have an opportunity to go back to Indiana Fever and close out that series. But let's see what's going to happen. But that's my picks. Connecticut Sun, I believe, if I don't have no emotions with it, Connecticut Sun is going to win game one. With emotion, Indiana Fever will win.
Try to bully through it and, get the refs on their side. You're going to have to try to beat them early.
You have just like the Connecticut matchup, you have players on this Connecticut team that have been there, right? You got AT, DB, Dejanay, Marina Mabry, even Ty Harris at the point, Brianna Jones, like they have the experience. And you also have players that will get in your head. Like that's what Alyssa Thomas does. That's what Dejanay does when she's defending Caitlin. Like Dejanay is gonna talk shit. She's gonna get up in you. So it's not, to me, it's not.
Dejanay, she's absolutely correct. Dejanay, that's what I was saying. Dejanay character is going to have a moxie about herself that is going to be personal for her. She plays her very hard. Every time they play the Indiana Fever, Dejanay is going at Caitlin Clark, and she's a great defender. Let me be very clear. She is a great defender. Alyssa Thomas, she's a bully out there on the court. And you need someone to stand up against the bully. That's what I'm looking for the Indiana Fever. You have to have someone. You can't bet. This is the playoffs. And this is going to be great experience for Indiana. But they're going to find out real quick. You're going to have to go at Alyssa Thomas. And you have to show her with your game. You're not scared of her. You're not intimidated by her. And you have to be intentional about that. You can't let her push you around out there on the court because they're like a shark. When you sense that there's blood in the water, Alyssa Thomas, Dejanay, they're like sharks. They're going to go after you and they're not going to let their jaws up off you. Once they smell that blood, that's it. They're attacking.
Not about if the Fever has the talent, but it's the experience and it's the defense for me.
I'll definitely say this. For the Fever, it's not about winning it all at all. It's about getting as far as you can for the confidence of next year and saying, look what we did. We went from 5 games to 13 games to 20-plus games in a matter of 3 years. So making it to the playoffs, just getting in there is one. It's like, yo, we're in the playoffs.
You said it perfect. It's like Dallas, right? There was no way Dallas started the playoffs thinking they were going to make it to the championship.
Facts.
And I think that's what gave them the best advantage because they didn't have no expectation. Just go out there and just do us. Right? You know, go out there and do us. Then that should be their approach. Right? No one expected us to be here. We're here. The pressure's really on them, not us. We don't supposed to be here.
So, that's a good look.
You know what I mean?
Playoffs, but I also know players on that team that are like, oh hell no, we don't want to just be here. Because then when you
I was about to say that.
Because then when you factor in free agency, you got players on this Indiana Fever team.
They getting paid anyway?
That are like, no, but players who will be free agents next year.
They getting paid. Right? No, what I'm saying is the start of the season to now, we're in the playoffs. Y'all playing well. Their money's kind of already guaranteed, right?
For next year?
This season coming, I mean, in the summer.
Potential contracts because they played so well this season. Everybody on the roster gets a different kind of look.
Right? Because
you saying it don't work like that.
No.
You said it don't work like that. It don't work like that.
Anybody on the Aces going into free agency, everybody's looking at you. Oh no. People in the Fever, we're like, y'all.
That's not my point. There's a lot of other shit going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be.
What other stuff?
Some new shit going on around there.
It's a lot. So you have players that are very significant
be specific,
on this Indiana Fever team that are like, I don't
want to be here.
This is where I want to be.
Yeah. Now listen,
there's a lot of shit going on. What kind of things do you feel?
I'm not in the locker room.
Yeah. Come on, Sheryl. I want to hear. and let me tell you something. I have nothing against Sheryl Swoopes. Let me tell y'all something, man. F y'all yahoos, man, that want to go out here, and mostly it's the Caitlin Clark fans, right? They want to go at Sheryl Swoopes' head and want to take her head off because she has her opinion. Let me tell you something. Some of these Caitlin Clark fans, some of y'all Caitlin Clark fans are racist, and some of you Caitlin Clark fans do not have a mental mind state to understand that everybody's don't think like you do. Caitlin Clark is not the Lord and Savior. And Sheryl Swoopes is entitled to her opinion. I'm liking what I'm hearing from Sheryl Swoopes so far, because she's probably spitting facts here. And I think it's so very important, man, to have different ideologies when it comes to the game of basketball. Everybody is not going to think the same way. Everybody not going to have the form of opinion. I want Sheryl Swoopes to speak your mind, because I think she's maybe hitting on something. She's saying that there is stuff that's going on behind the scenes that a lot of people are not privy to, but she is privy to it because she's close to the basketball game. She's close to a lot of these current basketball players, and some of them do not like the hoopla, like I was saying earlier in my message, that comes along with Caitlin Clark. And some of that is because some of these Caitlin Clark fans are very hard to deal with. They're nasty, they're disrespectful, they want to bring race in it, and you can just hear in the tone, in the message, no matter what, Caitlin Clark does everything right and perfect. And no, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. There are several things that I can break down that Caitlin Clark can work on her game. But at the end of the day, I'm fair. I really don't have any emotions when it comes to analyzing the basketball game. Caitlin Clark is a great player. Caitlin Clark does have some type of effect around her that draws me to wanting to watch her play. That's just me. I can only speak for me. I know I have the WNBA. I have bought the WNBA League Pass because of Caitlin Clark, but I was going to buy it anyway because I buy it every year because I love watching basketball, and I love watching the women's play basketball because to me, they seem like they play harder than the men. I'm just being real with you. They play harder than the men. But getting back to what Sheryl Swoopes is saying here, she is saying something that is very key is that some of these players do not like, do I want to play next year with all this hoopla that's going on around Caitlin Clark? And I'm going to tell you this. If you take out the emotions, because I know it's emotionally draining dealing with all that hoopla that comes with Caitlin Clark, but let me tell you this. Playing in front of a sold-out crowd every game should do something for you mentally in a positive way. Knowing that you're going to be playing out in front of a sold-out crowd everywhere you go, that brings a certain level of energy, or should, to your game.
Okay, but
I'm talking about more social media.
Okay,
it's a turn.
Right?
It's a turn, right? It's really a turn of the tides.
Well,
right?
Gil, here's my point. The beginning of the year, right? Everybody saw it. The Fever played, I don't know how many games.
6.
Shit, but tons, right? They played a lot of games the first half of the season.
Yeah.
And you can see the difference that rest made for this team, for individual players and for the team. But the beginning of the year, you have a player like an Aaliyah Boston, who was Rookie of the Year last year, #1 draft pick, a hell of a player. But because things weren't going the way everybody thought they should, then you got social media coming out calling her everything but a child of God. Made the kid delete her social media. And now that they're winning and she's playing better, oh my God, we love you, Aaliyah.
Yeah.
But my thing is this. So what happens when Aaliyah ain't playing well again?
It's back to
like you know what I mean? And so as a player,
back to it.
But as a player, do you want to like continue to stay in a situation where you keep yourself vulnerable to all of the hate that you know is going to come to you if you're not playing the way everybody thinks you should be playing?
But the grass ain't
and that's
greener.
even people who don't know basketball.
Grass ain't greener on the other side. You go to another.
Yeah. Get it, Rashad. Hey, I believe Rashad is going to say what I've said just a few minutes ago, is that sometimes the grass ain't going to be greener on the other side. Yet, there might be a lot of pressure when you're playing with somebody like Caitlin Clark, because she brings all this media attention. She brings all this fan noise, and some of it is negative, but a lot of it is positive as well. You have to understand that we are professionals. You are professionals here, and that you have to learn to block out the noise. That's what made the Kobe Bryant so great. That's what made the Michael Jordan so great. Hell, that's what made the Sheryl Swoopes so great. And she played alongside with another great player, Cynthia Cooper. Remember the Houston comments? So great because they learn how to block out the noise. They learn not to bring their personal issues to their professional job, being a professional basketball player. And you have to understand, you have to separate the fan noise, the media noise. But when you go into that locker room, you have to have tunnel vision. You have to have this moxie of an attitude that I don't care what nobody says about me in a negative way outside these four walls in this locker room. As long as we stick together as a team, as long as we stick to our game plan, as long as we have each other back. Melissa Smith, when she did that tweet, trying to make a cryptic message that she's not happy because she needs more touches, you don't do that. If you want to find a way to break your team in a negative way, keep doing stuff like that because it's going to bring issues into that locker room. You can't have a player outside of the locker room venting this negative type of information about your team, about your nucleus. Y'all supposed to be a sisterhood. Y'all supposed to come together and have each other back no matter how you feel. That's what separates a good team from a bad team. A bad team from a championship caliber team, a la the Las Vegas Aces. That team stick together and they have each other back. You can tell the way they talk to the media in the post game, the pre-game, they really enjoy being around each other. And I'm not quite sure if I sense that on this Indiana Fever team. I sense some jealousy. I sense there's an attitude issue because some of these players that's on that team do not like the fact that Caitlin Clark is getting all these attention. See, it's one thing that Caitlin Clark has to deal with all the stuff from outside their team, dealing with from other teams, dealing with from other the fans, all of the stuff, the media. But it's another thing if you feel the tension on your own team. That's difficult. So you have to give some props to Caitlin Clark to be able to play under all the scrutiny, under all this media attention that she's getting, and to still perform at a very high level that Caitlin Clark is doing. I'm going to keep it fair here on the Royal Figures Talk Show. I'm not going to just be one-sided. I'm going to keep it fair here. I'm going to keep it fair on both sides.
The team thinking it's going to be different, it's the same and everything.
But if you're a player, and I'm just using Aaliyah as an example because Aaliyah is not a free agent. But if you're a player like an Aaliyah Boston, you know the worth you bring to any other franchise. Now, and you know how that works. Not every player who's a free agent should leave because the grass probably ain't gonna be greener for you.
Absolutely.
But
not.
A player like a Kelsey Mitchell could be very valuable to
anywhere. Yeah, facts.
Yeah,
right?
she can.
Aaliyah Boston could be very valuable to any team when she becomes a free agent. I'm just saying.
Now, let me tell you something. The Indiana Fever better do everything that they can possibly do to make sure they secure Kelsey Mitchell. You cannot let a caliber player like Kelsey Mitchell go to another team. She's going to get her coins, whatever her value is from the perspective. But let me tell you something. She is very valuable to the Indiana Fever. And if I'm the owner of the Indiana Fever, if I'm the general manager of the Indiana Fever, if I'm the head coach of the Indiana Fever, if I am a current player of the Indiana Fever, if I'm Caitlin Clark and she has some level of power, I'm already talking to the powers that be within this organization that I need Kelsey Mitchell to stay on this team by any means necessary. She brings a lot of skill sets to the team. She takes a lot of pressure off me. She is very valuable to me. I'm talking like I'm Caitlin Clark. She is valuable to me. She's valuable to this organization. She is valuable to this team. We need to make sure that we secure Kelsey Mitchell on my basketball team. I'm already having these conversations because it's going to be very hard if you let a caliber player like Kelsey Mitchell get away and because you don't want to pay her coins to stay on this team. Kelsey Mitchell has proved herself that she is, whether you want to say a number 2 caliber player or number 1 caliber player, vice versa, or tied, however you want to put it. But Kelsey Mitchell puts up numbers. and she is lethal on the basketball court.
And I don't know. Listen,
but the devil's advocate.
Time out.
The devil's advocate.
But time out, because I need to say this, because I know how this shit works. I haven't had a conversation with anybody. I don't know who leaving, who's staying. I'm just talking, right? Scenarios. That's all.
Devil's advocate on a situation. Who is complaining that they're not getting recognition again?
Who?
Alyssa Smith? Alyssa?
The Sky?
No. What team is
the Lynx?
Okay, so how good is the Lynx?
Very good.
Okay.
And no one's paying attention to them. No matter how good they're playing,
yeah, the Minnesota Lynx
one's
is a
paying
good
attention
team.
to them. So all those players on there is fighting for a light, right? Fever has this big, bright light, which means someone like Boston, you wasn't playing well, everyone don't like you, right? When you are playing well, Jesus, open up the red carpet, boom. So she's getting the red carpet treatment when she's playing well, and when she's not,
From who? Who's she getting the red carpet treatment from?
Just social media, people, right? So what ends up happening is, as hateful as everybody was to her jersey, when they loved her jersey's moving like hotcakes. She's getting voted into the All-Star game.
Like
so it is a hate and love thing. So as the player, you have to understand that either you're gonna have this really high level hate and love, or you can be playing very great and no one notices you. But you can be playing very bad and no one notices you. So which one do you want to be in?
Right.
Because you can average 20 and get 200,000. You can average 15, get 600,000, and they hate you or love you for it.
Yeah.
So it's a pulling, it's a tugging.
Let me tell you this. Gilbert Arenas is 100% correct. Let me tell you something, man. This is what I'm saying, man. You know, you can have this mindset, and they're just talking. If Aaliyah Boston has this type of mindset, they don't know for sure, but they're just throwing it out there as an opinion. Let me tell you something, man. Being around someone like Caitlin Clark is going to generate revenue, not just for Caitlin Clark, but for you, the player, because the value goes up. She's selling out every home game because of all the attention that Caitlin Clark is getting. You don't think that that's going to fare out far as with your negotiations with your contract? Understand, use the media attention, use all the sellout crowd, use all that to your advantage. Focus on your game, playing to the highest ability that you can, night in and night out. And I promise you, good things is going to happen to you when your contract negotiations comes up, because you're going to be able to negotiate. Hey, look what I'm doing. Look at the value that I'm bringing to this team. Pay me my coins.
It's one of these, and you gotta like her now, today.
Absolutely.
They love that girl. It's not the same as when the beginning of the season. Like when you see them on social media, you're like, okay, it's the Kobe and Shaq. There's a Kobe and Shaq right now.
I don't even know if they love her now. My thing is this: when they're winning,
she's the best. Yeah.
No, she ain't the best player.
No,
when they're winning, it's like, oh, Aaliyah had a good game.
Yeah.
And as soon as they lose a game, it's right back to why is she here?
Why is she here?
So as a player, though, from a mental standpoint, I don't know if I want to subject myself to that.
I don't know. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments, chat. I don't understand. I don't think so. Y'all let me know in the comments, but I don't think so. I feel, for me, from my perspective, I feel that Aaliyah Boston does get a lot of support and love from the home crowd, from her team, and it's definitely from the coaching staff. And I'm just saying is that there's nothing going to be perfect. What are we looking for? Are we nitpicking something? Every little thing. There's nothing that's going to be perfect. I believe Aaliyah Boston is a great asset to this team. Yet alone the WNBA. She's a great player. She made the All-Star team. Let me say this again. She made the All-Star team. You had Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Caitlin Clark. So she's getting the love. he's getting the support. You have to understand, in general, when you win, everybody loves you. But when you lose, you're going to have some people hate you. That comes with the territory.
Every single game.
But that's the difference between this whole mental health movement and just being mentally strong and mentally resilient to take the fact that you're going to play bad, you're going to play good, they're going to fucking love you, they're going to fucking hate you. This is the part of being a professional. I show up regardless if you niggas love me or hate me.
No doubt.
Matter. Because at the end of the day, I know now that when you play good, they love you. When you play bad, they hate you. You know what you got to do? Play fucking good.
Yeah. Well,
you got to play fucking good as much as you want to not have that pressure on you.
Absolutely.
If you're worried about what people were saying out there, play fucking good.
We saw the same thing last night with the Eagles game. Saquon Barkley, 3 touchdowns in the first game in the win. Had that huge drop last night.
All that other shit don't matter.
Yeah, now
none of that shit matter.
We lost the game.
You can go over 10, make the last layup. They forget everything.
Everything.
You can score 20 in a row and then miss the last layup. Oh, shit.
Get rid of them.
But I'd rather be on that stage. I'll rather be on that stage. Because when you're talking about the Minnesota, you playing well and nobody knows you.
29-9.
Right? So your efforts, you are, what I'm saying is you are not looked at. Right? There's girls you're better than.
But you're saying the team's not being looked at or talked
But
about?
The players.
The team and the players that are on there.
Like you gotta live Boston. What is she considered in the WNBA? What ranking?
She's probably like top 5.
Well,
is she a top 5?
We're talking about in position?
Because we can tell you where her jersey sales are and her all-star ranking is.
At her position, I would say she's top 10.
Top 10.
Okay, top 10.
At her position.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But
in the league itself.
When you're talking about Minnesota, oh no, people absolutely talk about Nafisa Collier.
Yeah.
Is her jersey selling more than Boston?
Yeah.
No.
Not Boston. Probably not. But she's right underneath because she's an MVP candidate.
Who?
I
know, but when it comes to jersey sale, like
in Minnesota is selling.
It wouldn't even. But what I'm saying is, it shouldn't even be on the same planet, though, right?
Right.
And the fact.
Wait, who shouldn't? You're saying Aaliyah shouldn't be on the same planet as Nafisa?
Yeah.
Because of credentials.
But
Rookie of the year, #1 pick, playing well. It should be here.
I don't know if I agree with that.
No, I'm saying
you're saying Aaliyah
should be here.
Shouldn't be on the same level as Nafisa?
Yeah, Nafisa should be here, right? The MVP candidate.
And it's Minnesota.
Wait,
I know what you're saying.
But you're talking about as far as jersey sales?
Just period.
Just period.
It's that big market. Like that's what I'm saying.
Collier is that. She is that girl.
Numbers you don't really feel the
Collier is balling for the Minnesota.
I know, but
they turn Indiana into a big market. It's a big market now.
But I think with Aaliyah though, it's also I go back to college, right? South Carolina they're everywhere, so they're going to support Aaliyah. They're going to support anybody that went to South Carolina.
She already got the statue in South Carolina.
No, but I'm saying they're South Carolina is going to support their players.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
So, Sheryl, you talked about obviously the Fever struggling early in the season, but let's talk about what's happened lately. Been one of the hottest teams in the W post-Olympic break. I believe 9-4 in that span. Caitlin Clark, huge reason for that success. So, set the
Absolutely.
WNBA single season assist record.
Now, here we get now to the meat and potatoes. Here we go.
Here we go. 5 points in a win over the Dallas Wings to set the WNBA single season scoring record for a rookie, surpassing Simone Augustus' previous record. So we got to add context. Clark has 761 points in 39 games. Augustus set the previous record of 744 points in 2006 when the WNBA season was only 34 games. But for the season, Caitlin Clark's averaging 20 points, league-leading 8 assists, 6 rebounds, 1.3 steals. Now has the Fever back in the playoff for the first time since 2016. So are you surprised by Caitlin Clark and the Fever's improvement since the Olympic break?
Since the Olympic break?
Or do they need that rest?
No doubt. I think, and so I've talked about this with some other people. I felt like the Olympic break helped the Indiana Fever more than any other team. And I felt like the Olympic break really hurt Chicago. Because I thought before the break, Indiana was playing well, Chicago was playing well, and granted, there have been injuries and things like that. But since the Olympic break, this Indiana Fever team,
Absolutely,
to me, is a completely different team. And I don't know if people really understand how much like rest plays a part of that. Because when you look at Caitlin, she went from playing in college, playing in the Final Four, going to the draft, going to training camp, season start.
I would say some rest possibly play a part in that. But listen, man, she's a rookie. She's a rookie. I'ma say she was able to go back and look at tape. She was able to go back and work on some of the things that she needed to work on, getting stronger. Whether it's that, picking and choosing her spots wisely on how to attack certain defenses. She was able to mind the game to be able to see what's her strong points and what's her weak points and focus mostly on her weak points to make them her strong points. I believe that's what's made the difference for Caitlin Clark, for me.
Starts and the Fever are playing, I don't know how many games they played just in a row. But what I've seen from this team, it's not just about like one player, but their ability to really gel together, and their chemistry right now is like they look like they've been playing together for years. And I do think what Caitlin's been able to do in a short period of time has been very impressive.
Yes.
Right. And so,
yes,
because I know people are like, oh my God, you said she wouldn't be good. But I didn't say she wouldn't be good. What I said was I didn't think Caitlin or Angel would come into the league and dominate immediately, which I don't think either of them did. But
you weren't the only one who said that. So I think a lot of people felt that when you talk to a lot of players in the W, it's like, look, it's hard for rookies to make that transition from college to the W.
Gino said it too. Ariana said it, and
but
it's unfortunate.
But you said it, but you're saying it, dominate, right? When we're talking about Caitlin, we're talking about when she said dominate. When we're saying dominate, we're thinking what she does in college.
Score the ball.
She's dominated college, right?
No, she dominated in college.
She dominated. So when she says you won't come here and dominate off the rip. Averaging 17 is not dominated compared to averaging 30-something for 4 straight years.
But that was also like the first half of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like after the break, I still don't think she's dominating, but she's a different player than she was in the first half of the season. And I think because of her adjustment and her ability to play.
Listen here. You heard what Sheryl Swoopes said. She doesn't feel like even now that Caitlin Clark is dominating. I don't have that's Sheryl Swoopes' opinion, y'all. She has a right to have an opinion for herself. She has that right, chat. Y'all let me know in the comment section. What do you think? Sheryl Swoopes has a right to make her opinion. Now, we have a right to respond and give our opinions based off on her statement. But at the end of the day, I don't have an issue. She's not hating on Caitlin Clark. She's just saying that she just gave Caitlin Clark props. She said that Caitlin Clark is definitely a different player than the first half of the season. So she's definitely have gotten better, but she is not dominating. Now, from my perspective, I feel that Caitlin Clark is dominating in certain categories and in certain areas of her game. She's able to control the tempo of the game. She's able to find players and get them and find them when they're open, getting them open shots, getting them easier shots. To me, that is a form of dominating. Hell, look how Kelsey Mitchell is playing. She could play good herself, but let's make no mistake about it. When you have a caliber player playing alongside Kelsey Mitchell, like a Caitlin Clark, that leaves some room for Kelsey Mitchell to go off and be able to do things that she's doing on the basketball court to be able to score the way she's scoring. So in some areas of Caitlin Clark game, she is dominating to a certain extent.
First half of the season, you have a break. And it was great that the Olympics was this year, right? That she came into the league. You had a break, had an opportunity to work on your game, do whatever it was she did, but also an opportunity to practice with your teammates. And like, I've never questioned if Caitlin was a good player.
Yeah.
I think she's a hell of a player. And my thing was, no, I didn't think she would come in and dominate. I thought it would take her some time to adjust to being a professional. And to me, I think that's exactly what she's done. And her teammates have, like, they too have taken their game to a whole nother level. I think that's what has made this Indiana Fever team a hell of a team post-Olympic break.
Yeah.
You know what I think? I think leading the NBA, the WNBA in
Assists.
is dominating.
Yeah.
You think so?
I just said it.
Why?
I just said it.
Rookie. She's never been in this atmosphere.
You know,
But also leading in turnovers too.
Yeah, I was going to mention. I was going to get into all of that.
But those turnovers are not really her turnovers.
And that's why I
Yes.
was going to get into
So I don't
it.
mean
So the dominance.
Absolutely. See, you know, I dislike or I disagree when someone come and say to me is that, but yeah, she's averaging so many turnovers. She's leading the league in turnovers. Man, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something about basketball. If you ever watched Caitlin Clark play this season, and I'll be curious to know some of these people that are saying those things, are you really watching her play? I watch her play every game this season in her rookie year, every game. And let me give you a breakdown analysis. A lot of the passes that Caitlin Clark has made, a lot of her teammates has missed open layups, open shots, a lot of them. And you have to realize even a lot of the passes that Caitlin Clark has made, I have seen her players fumble the ball, fumble the basketball. I mean, easy catches that they should make. On a breakout to an easy layup, they can't catch the basketball like they got butterfingers. So let's be clear on that. Let's be very clear on that before we want to knock her for being the top 2 or 3 in turnovers. If you watch her play, there is a lot of basketballs that her players fumble the basketball and it creates a turnover, or they miss wide open layups or shots. Period.
Domination. When you talk about her already leading the W in assists. And a lot of the assists that she could have gotten were now turnovers.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
You can say that about every player.
Of course. But this is obvious with her. She's throwing pitch
Come
aheads,
on,
wide open layups.
no,
They're
Sheryl.
smoking them.
No, Sheryl. You cannot say that about every player. No, Sheryl. Don't. Nice try, but I got you. No. If you clearly have been watching Caitlin Clark play, her teammates is so much embarrassing for me to watch the wide open layups or the wide open catches that they are fumbling. It makes you look at them. Are you a professional? How you made it to this level? It is that bad.
This could be 13 a game. This could be 14 a game. Like they're literally just dropping passes. And she's making a lot of mistakes as a point guard, as a rookie. So she makes a lot of mistakes.
When you're the problem with this statement, and it's easy to come at you when she's successful, right?
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
If we had a number, if we would have said when we're talking about dominating with Caitlin Clark, what would those numbers have? What was the numbers?
It would have been a scoring number.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Because of high clip, shooting it.
Right,
So
right.
we'd have been like,
That's what she did.
Do you consider 20
that's
points
what I
per
was saying
game?
when you said
So
it.
you don't consider 20 points per game?
So if her stats, when we're saying she won't do this in the W, she averaged 31.6, 7.4 rebounds, 9 assists, right? Did anyone expect her to do that in WNBA?
Those three?
No.
No.
So
No.
she didn't do that.
No.
Now, if we say her stats are today, what?
20 points, 8.4 assists, 6 rebounds.
That's crazy.
But 5
That's
points,
crazy.
5.6
Those are
turnovers
hell of a number.
Those are hell of a numbers.
rookie.
But to me, that's not
Period.
dominating.
Yeah, it's only not dominating because she's a rookie.
Now,
If
No.
Because if she's putting up numbers like Asia right now, Would she be dominating?
Yes.
So it's about the numbers. I don't look at the dominating factor being
Good,
numbers.
yeah,
It's what
yeah.
you're doing on the floor.
Floor.
And those numbers would change if the
Yes.
factors on the floor changes.
Yes.
If you make that layup, the stats change.
Yes.
If you swing, I get a layup, stats change. These are factors on the floor that we don't get to see because we're glorifying the stat when we talk about dominating. And you look at the passing, like that's an obvious thing. And Alyssa Thomas is probably the only one that could be like, yo, I'm the passer.
Yeah, but
I'm the dominating
passer. You can't say that when everybody else, they're quick to throw stats, right? It's like, oh, well, this is what she did. Like somebody's like, oh, Sheryl Swoopes only scored 34 points in the WNBA. Caitlin scored 35. So you can't use stats when it benefits you.
But I only use the play of the game. Like you could say stats, and if you didn't watch the game, you're only going on what they're telling you. This person scored.
You're only
if
going
you
off
watch
stats.
the game, you're
watch
like,
the game.
that person should have had 42.
Yeah.
That person should have had 22 assists. But I watched the game. You're on it. So most people only looking at the highlights.
Yeah.
For the especially for Caitlin, like when you really watch Caitlin play, you're like, damn, man, she could have had this, she could have had that, she could have been more aggressive. She's not reading the floor well. She's
Rashard, you can do that for every single player that plays the game.
I know, but I'm doing it for the rookie because she came in with an expectation. Everybody else didn't come in with an expectation to even analyze their game. So if we want to say whether or not Caitlin is dominating or not, we have to actually look at the totality of her game and not just the highlights.
No, but what I'm saying is it's when we're talking about that, like no rookie is in dominating form. Right, when we're saying dominating, you go through history and say, well, Candace Parker dominated her rookie
just told
year.
you.
Yeah.
Cap.
You don't feel that.
She was great her rookie year. She was better than expected her rookie year. But if you take her rookie year compared to her dominating year, is it?
Can we say this?
But if you win the MVP, you wouldn't say that she dominated.
Yes. So her best year was her rookie year.
I'm not saying it was her best year, but if I come in as a rookie and I'm the most valuable
year?
But if I'm the most valuable player in the league, how can you say I didn't dominate the league that year?
Is it your best year?
No.
Your best year is your most dominating year, right?
Well, why can't I have 5 dominating years?
You could.
Shaq.
I mean, I think
rookie year was dominating. No.
Dominant versus most dominant. I think it's two different.
But that's what I'm saying is because we're throwing a blanket on it, right? We're throwing a blanket.
Let's say this: dominant as a rookie. She's more dominant than all of the rookies.
But we didn't use it in rookie term.
Well, because she didn't come in with the statement saying that she's going to be the most dominant rookie.
No, my statement was because everybody was talking, right? My statement was I don't think, and let me clarify this. I made the statement about both Angel and Caitlin, not just Caitlin.
Right.
My statement was, I don't think either of them are going to come into the league and dominate immediately, meaning what they did in college.
Over all of the players in the W.
And the reason why I said it is because you have a player like an A'ja Wilson who has been in this league for a while and gets better every single year and maybe this was more so for the new fans who never watched the WNBA. So my point being, there is hella talent in this league. It's not going to be as easy as y'all think it's going to be.
Right.
But also saying, don't put all that pressure on these rookies, and just say Angel and Caitlin in particular, because that's who everybody was talking about. Like, don't put all that pressure on them to feel like they got to come in and do what they did in college. Like, let them get to the league, let them adjust, let them understand what it means to be a pro.
Well, that's why I say she dominated from the aspect of her peers, which are the other rookies. I was the most dominant rookie that came in, and I dominated.
But if that was explained like that,
but it
who was going to be the most dominant rookie?
Exactly.
Then that would have been easy.
It wasn't about the rookies. It was about all the talent in the league.
So because she surpassed that. Now that she surpassed dominating all the rookies, she's chasing A'ja now.
But as the number one overall pick, is that expected when you come into the W?
Like when the word dominating came out, it was basically for me. Is she going to be doing what she does in college?
I would say this. When you are the number one pick, there is an expectation for you to perform at a very high level and be in the conversation or the status of a lot of established veterans who are all-stars, who are stars in that league. that comes with the expectations when you are the number one pick. So yes, there is an expectation. I do agree with Sheryl Swoopes to a certain extent, but at the same breath, this is what comes when you are drafted as the number one pick in the WNBA, especially as a caliber player like Caitlin Clark, because she's averaged probably 30 points per game in college, that you're going to have that expectations for you to average 30, if not 30, in the high 20s points per game, because that's what comes along with it when you are the number one pick. Is it right? No, it's not right, but that is the expectations.
As a rookie, no. Is she going to be doing that at some point? Probably, right? Because eventually the skill set turns over.
Absolutely.
So if this is her rookie year, she only gets better.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? So
without question,
at some point she's averaging 20, whatever. Is there going to be a point in time where she averages 28 and 9? Yeah.
Here's a good question.
No,
it should be, yes. And that's when you say dominating.
Here's a good question then. What guard other than Caitlin is dominating the league right now?
Dominating?
Guard.
I don't know.
But
if
you
there
have to
is a
compare.
guard.
You got to compare to what they do, Alyssa.
I'm just saying guard.
Well,
Alyssa, Alyssa's a 4.
So here's what I would tell you.
You're guard.
I'm saying between
listen, you're saying right now.
Right now, what?
I would also say this: Kelsey Mitchell is
right there. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
So you got Enrique, you got Kelsey, you got Kennedy.
Enrique, probably Enrique.
Enrique for
but
sure.
We have to dominating has to be what your attributes are, right? So
I'm dominating at what I'm good at.
What are you good at?
My thing is this,
and Caitlin's not dominating.
Scorer like them.
She's good at.
The player that's dominating is Asia Wilson.
We're talking guards.
I know, but so I'm saying I don't know if there is a guard that's dominating.
But you say Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey shooting 47% from the field, 40% from 3.
She's dominating.
We'll say Enrique
is
average
yes,
game. Her field goal percentage.
Kelsey Mitchell is doing her thing. I said it, y'all. I said it.
Enrique, right? She's
Enrique
she's supposed to average 20. Like she's dominating.
Let me tell you something. Enrique is special on the basketball court. She is deadly. She is a force to be reckoned with. You cannot guard her one-on-one. She can score. She can penetrate. She can take you off the dribble. She is a 3-4 point threat. She can do multiple things on the offensive side of the ball. But let me tell you this. Does that contribute to wins for her team? No. But far as skill set wise, she at the highest level as a shooting guard. She is deadly. She is one of the top shooting guards in the league right now. Hands down, period.
We know.
And let me also say this. Her team should be better than what it is. Her team should be in the playoffs. When you have the big bodies that they have and they play defense, I'm baffled that the Dallas Wings is so horrible from a record-wise where they're at right now. It is ridiculous. It is sad. It makes no sense. I'm not sure if it's the coaching. I'm not sure it's a combination of coaching and the players not being consistent, but they need to get their act together because they are a better team than what their record shows. And I'm talking about the Dallas Wings.
We know what we've seen from Caitlin, and we know the assist is there yet. She hasn't, like the second half of the season, the 28, the 35, she's starting to feel it.
Yes.
Next year and her third year, we should expect brilliant basketball because the game she didn't figure it out. This year's still a learning.
But it also, I agree with that, but it also depends on the players that are around her, how great she can be. Because I feel like the second half of the season, like those 19 assists, which are crazy numbers, and you're saying, yeah, it could have been more, agree. But if you don't have players around you that can score the basketball, you're not going to get 19 assists. Kelsey Mitchell has been incredible.
Absolutely.
Since Olympic break. Lexi Hall, once Christy decided to pull Lexi from the end of the bench and put her in the game, has changed the team, right? Aaliyah Boston. So yes, I think to your point, her next year, she'll get better. Her third year, she's gonna be even better than this year, which is expected. My question to you is this. So if you're the #1 draft pick, right? Aaliyah Boston, #1 draft pick last year, went to Indiana. There are expectations for her to be great, right? She's the #1 draft pick for a reason. And everybody wants to compare Caitlin to Angel, which to me I hate because they're two totally different players.
Yeah.
Angel Reese was drafted #7 to Chicago. Not a lot of expectations. People were like,
slipped in the draft.
She slipped in the draft. She couldn't score in college, all of that. There was no way I thought Angel was going to come into the league and be dominant, which she wasn't. But Angel's game, her offensive game, everybody knows this, has never been, it wasn't even that great in college, right?
Yeah.
So yes, she has to work on that. There are things Caitlin has to work on. My question to you is, where, not necessarily where do you rank Angel, but Angel's averaging a double-double, rebounds. To me, one of the best rebounders I've ever seen in the game. And people want to talk about her own misses, which I don't agree with that. But if they are, box her ass out and rebound.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
So if you don't want her to get it, box her out. So she's averaging a double-double. And as the #7 pick, I don't really think people expected that.
No.
So do you consider her dominating?
Yes.
No.
Yes, I do.
Why?
Because you look at the dynamic of how you can change the game when you come into the game, and how no one has an answer for the
I
things
like
you're
Rashad
doing to change the
McCants,
game.
man.
Angel proves that she can come in the game,
Yes.
change the dynamic,
Yes.
and shift the game due to her rebounding, her knack for understanding where to be and how to fucking do it.
Bravo. Chat. Listen. Angel Reese in her own right has dominated in her own way and on the basketball court. You know, when people say, well, she missed so many layups and she rebounded half of her own shots. Let me tell you something. Like Sheryl Swoopes says, then box her behind out. See, the thing is when you're talking about rebounding the basketball in the WNBA at the highest level of professional basketball, and she's not that tall. So she's going up against taller, more physical players, but it's about heart. It's about the mindset. It's about that courage. It's about that grit. It's about that grind. She reminds you so much of a Dennis Rodman. That's a skill set. And she's able to dominate at the highest level in the WNBA. Like she is saying to everybody else in the league, you may be bigger than me, you may be taller than me, you may be even stronger than me, but you will not outwork me. I'm going to get this basketball. I'm going to create double doubles. I am going to, come on, y'all. Come on. Angel Reese has dominated in her own way. She made a name for herself in creating the most double doubles in a season as a rookie, as a effing rookie. Come on, bro. Come on. Y'all let me know. Tell me in the chat if y'all agree.
And she did it at a rate where she could average 15, 16 boards a game easy. Okay. Right? So I look at
13.1 rebounds.
So I'm looking at Caitlin, right? And we say the reason I forged the question of dominance between guards is because she's giving you 20 and 9. Right? There's no other guard giving you those aspects. So when we talk Joker, remember how we talk Joker? We have to take away his assists for it to be a conversation amongst other bigs, because he has a dynamic that separates him.
Okay.
And it offers points, it offers camaraderie, it offers team confidence, because I'm passing. Caitlin Clark dominated her rookie year because she brung points and she brung assists and she brought wins.
See, why
That's
you
a
keep
dominance.
using rookie year?
Because she's never been here before. She has no experience.
I know, but what I'm saying, so do you think this is the best she can be?
No, I'm just saying this year she dominated amongst the people that didn't think that she could. She gave you points and she gave you an assist.
Absolutely.
So you tell me the other guards, Enrique, Kelsey, all these other guards that you can name up and line up beside her.
I can't compare
and say,
it's like me comparing Allen Iverson with
Gilbert
Mark
Arena
Jackson.
can't compare.
If all the guards are like Mark Jackson and then Allen Iverson come in, I can't compare. They're two
but Mark
different
Jackson
breeds
is not giving you 20 and 10
because he can't physically do it.
Right, but
this is a different. But this
so
is
you
a
can't
different
say
breed.
Mark Jackson
What I'm
versus
saying is,
Allen Iverson.
This is a different breed of a. This is a new breed that's coming in, right? This is just the beginning. So if I say she's dominant,
on, Gilbert. Listen to what Rashad
I know
is
what you're
saying.
capable of.
But you're
so I'm not even gonna pretend that this. I know you are a 30 and 10, 12 person. So I'm not even gonna say you're dominant. No, I know what you're capable of. Like
if
when
you
Kobe had
Elijah
Shaq,
out,
we all knew when Shaq left. What did we say? Oh, this motherfucker's about to dominate.
No.
Yes, we did.
Kobe Bryant was the most dominant.
Katie left,
he was the most dominant two guard during the three-peat.
The dominant two guard
during the three-peat.
And then what didn't we see what dominance really looked like when Shaq left? Yes, this is dominant. That other shit was, oh, you were really good. This is dominating.
Come on,
81,
man.
60 and 3. This was
Come
dominating.
on,
When Katie left, who wrote it? Someone wrote, oh shit. Russell might average a triple-double. Then there was a player who said that. I don't know what player. There was a player, when KD left, someone said, oh, Russell might fuck around and average a triple-double this year. No one believed it. But someone seen, like, we know what his potential is. Caitlin's potential is 30. Guaranteed.
No doubt.
When that happens, that is her dominant year.
No. Reese? No.
I disagree, Gilbert.
No, you can't equate dominance just to points.
Well, no,
yeah.
But because the 30 and 12, that's going to be 30, 12.
Come on.
Gonna have 8.
I totally disagree with Gilbert. I totally disagree with him on that. You cannot equate. See, and this is where we have to part ways, Gilbert. This right here is where we have to part ways. There is no way in the world you can tell me is that points is the only way that you can be dominant in the game. No. Jordan showed you that. Hell, even Scottie Pippen was dominant. Come on, Dennis Rodman was dominant, and he wasn't even the scorer. So Gilbert, we have to stop pushing this narrative that just by scoring that you could be dominant. Caitlin Clark is dominant in her own right in the way that she's go about playing the game. Come on, man, stop.
8 rebounds. Yeah. That's what her potential is.
Yeah.
No, I get that, but what she's doing right now is still dominant. She's still doing 19 assists is not dominating?
Yes.
But she's not averaging 19 assists.
She's averaging 10?
20 points and 8.4.
What I'm saying is Angel Reese.
She ain't averaging
20 points and 8.4 assists. 19.5 points.
Angel Reese.
9 assists.
Remember,
Angel Reese dominating this year?
Right.
Angel Reese dominating this year? No. No, this is not a dominant.
No, she's not.
This is a baby. She's a baby right now.
But just for all you have to see, we're not talking about where she's going to go in the future.
It doesn't even make sense. How can it not be dominant? If she has no expectation.
What record does she have?
And then she comes in and she leads the league.
Double-doubles record and then the rebounding record.
Say it again?
Consecutive double-doubles and the rebounding record.
Next year, she's going to break that.
But that's already a dominant record right now.
No.
She dominated the rebounding.
But the problem is she dominated it, but we know that's the bottom line of this.
Yes, but we can't say it's not a dominant.
She's going to push it again.
Yeah,
both of them dominated.
All we can do is sit here right now, September 17th, and say what it is right now. We can't say
she dominated. She dominated.
Now we can go back.
If we take away,
they both have really good rookies.
If we take away,
both led in the categories they're good at.
No.
They dominated the year. They ended at the top.
If we take away their expectations, and say, we didn't expect anything from them because we never seen them play. Okay, they dominated. Right? They dominated.
Yeah, come on, chat. Y'all put in the comment section, what is Gilbert Arenas and Sheryl Swoopes talking about? If you're at the top in a category, on a professional level in the league, that is dominating. That means no one else did it better than you. You dominated the season in that category. Angel Reese dominated in the rebounding. Caitlin Clark dominated in assists. They dominated in certain categories as rookies.
As rookies,
but that was the expectation she set up. Listen,
no, her expectation was 30.
No. Her expectation came in saying, you guys are not gonna come in here and dominate like you think. That's her saying, listen, whatever your expectation is,
it would have been better.
It's gonna be more difficult.
I said dominate immediately.
Immediately, yeah. So regardless,
you know what?
the expectation, they didn't. But the expectation was set. It was set that, hey, look, we're not expecting y'all to come in here and dominate. We're not expecting you to come in here and dominate.
But the thing is, I think a lot of people treated that as you trying to bash Angel and Caitlin instead of just pointing out that the W
is going to be tough.
Great players.
Yes, it's tough.
You know what I mean? I think that's
it should have been the bottom line. It should have been the bottom. It should have been the bottom line of what the expectation was.
Okay, but I have a question. I have a question for Rashard. So, given you're like, yeah, they both dominate. How do you look at it if you're giving up or you're giving out 8 assists per game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's had several double-digit assists. But you got turnovers, right?
Yep.
You're leading in turnovers.
Yep.
I get it. She's a rookie. It happens. She'll get better. But do you factor in what she's given up on the defensive end?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
And you still say she dominated?
Yes.
No. That's the thing that fights against her. The thing that overweighs that is the winning.
Yes.
Okay. So the dominating factor of me being a point guard, I have to now I have to score and I have to distribute. And during those distributions, I'm turning it over. Great. But guess what we're doing? We're winning. We're winning.
Okay. Okay. So since we know LeBron's career, rookie 25-5, was that considered dominating?
That's a great point.
You wouldn't say that was a dominant rookie season for LeBron.
See, again, you said it now. Rookie season. You're adding rookie season. Yes. Rookie season. Yes.
Yeah,
but if we were having this conversation in 2004, that's all we would base.
Yeah, that's all we would talk about.
Now we have a full.
But the statement. But see, you're capitalizing on rookie season.
I didn't say it was most dominant.
We did say it was the most dominant.
No, what I'm saying is the statement was dominating. They were the league.
I didn't say she's not going to dominate
as a rookie.
Right?
Well, y'all leaving out the context that she is a rookie, so you only can say as a rookie. She's a rookie, so if she comes in and dominates, now you have to say as a rookie she dominated.
But you said, yeah, she dominated all rookies. But I never said she's not going to come in and dominate immediately over all the rookies.
But the key word to me in all of this is dominate, regardless of rookie or whatever.
Well, so
they dominate.
Was 25-5 by LeBron dominating?
Yes, because Melo had the same thing.
But was he considered dominating?
Both of them dominated.
So if we go through the stats and we look at everybody's stats, we're going to point those out as dominating stats.
Amongst the
you're going to use rookie because you got to add rookie to make it make sense. But that wasn't the statement. The statement wasn't among rookies. Because if we said rookies, she would have probably said yes. We would all say yes.
But what was the discourse about LeBron coming from high school to the NBA? He wasn't going to
dominate. But no one called it.
Coming right away and beat.
No one called it dominating.
No one that was top tier 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years in is not going to call it dominating. But the motherfuckers who are watching, who's never seen LeBron play in the NBA, they're going to say, that boy came in and he's doing everything they said he was going to do.
Didn't make an All-Star game, didn't make an All-NBA team. You talk about Caitlin and Angel, both made the All-Star.
Caitlin's going to be first team
but the real basketball player said, yeah, we're in trouble. We know when he finds his rhythm, he's going to take over this.
Because he's dominating now.
He's good.
He's dominating now.
He's good now. He's not.
He's dominating the rookies, though.
Michael Jordan's rookie year, he averaged 28. Dominating.
Come on, how's that different, bro? You just up the numbers.
22
You just
versus
up the
18,
numbers to say that the numbers are high. 28 dominating. So 13 rebounds is not dominating. 13 rebounds a game for the Angel Reese is not dominating.
When Jordan came in the game,
Come on,
he was
man.
second or third.
Gilbert is silly, man. Come on, bro. What you saying is not making any sense. If you putting up, okay, LeBron's averaged 25 and you said Jordan averaged 28, that's dominated. So now you're just going by a higher points per game average. But when you're talking about Angel Reese, 13 rebounds a game, that is dominating. That is the most, not just as a rookie, but the most in the league. That is dominating.
In scoring, in the league, third or second in scoring, right? So you can say, oh, he's
Caitlin's number one in assists in the league.
But she's a
man.
scorer.
So what? What does that matter?
So,
She's still the leader in assists.
So when what is her first ability?
Passing. Which is what she's leading in.
So what,
Passing.
Okay.
Passing.
Now we're lying.
Passing.
You're lying. Her first.
Passing.
Her first.
She passes first, Gilbert. She shoots because she can pass.
She does not pass first.
She's a traditional point guard first.
She does not pass first.
Let's just make it sense.
Rashard, no.
When Jordan came in, averaged 28. His third year, he averaged 35, right? Then 37. Those became dominant. Caitlin Clark is averaging 20. We all, stop lying to yourself. We all said, this is probably the worst her offense is going to be, right?
No.
She's going to be worse than this?
We're just not talking about
hold on.
You're saying, I'm not talking about the scoring.
Her assist is going to be her assist. Do you think she's going to be a better scorer next year and the year after?
Yeah.
Do you? Okay, thank you. Jesus Christ. So this is the bottom end of her scoring. Same thing with Angel Reese.
Why are we just focusing on scoring?
Likely, Angel Reese, this is the bottom end of her scoring. She's going to get better scoring, and she's going to get better rebound. There might be a year where she averages 15 and 15.
Yeah.
Dominating. There might be a year where she might fuck around and surprise us all and average 20 points.
Is it okay?
We don't put 20 points on her, but she might average 20 points one year, and it might be 20 and 17.
Is it okay?
Dominating.
Is it okay for us to have different definitions of dominating?
Yes.
No.
We got to have your
No, we cannot have.
We got to have your definition.
We cannot
right?
have different definitions.
So we got to go with yours.
We cannot have different.
So do
different
we have to go with your definition?
No. Whatever the word.
That's what it sounds like, Gilbert. It sounds like you're making the
Whatever
rules.
the definition of dominance is, that's the definition.
So
we can't change it.
So if I'm at the top of my category,
your category.
If I'm at the top
of your category,
of my category, what is the deciding factor whether I'm dominating or not?
Because is that your skill?
Bro, what the fuck does that have to do with me being at the top, dominating at this category?
Obviously, if you at the top of your category, that is a part of your skill set. You are very good in passing the basketball. Angel Reese, you are very good in rebounding the basketball, which makes you dominant in that category. See, Gilbert Arenas is moving the goalpost every chance he gets to satisfy his perspective, his train of thought. But you can't have it your way. You have to keep it as dominating. If you have the most assists, a la Caitlin Clark, you are dominating. If you have the most rebounds in your category, Angel Reese, you are dominating. You cannot say a player is not dominating in their own right in a category just because you want to go to points. Come on, man. Stop.
Regardless if my skill is fucking guitaring and I'm over here fucking drumming. If I'm killing in the fucking drums, this ain't my skill. Shit, I'm dominating in this now.
So, question for you.
I'm a good drummer and a good guitarist.
Question for you.
I dominate this shit. I'm good at both.
Okay. Question for you. As a #1 draft pick.
Like you make it sound like someone's hating because you don't want to.
I'm not.
You keep saying we know she averages 9 assists.
I'm just saying she's dominating. I'm not saying nobody's hating. I'm just saying she dominated.
We're both saying the same thing.
No, you're not.
This is the bottom end of her score.
Not.
We know this mother. We know she's going to the moon. When she turns it up, that's when I'm like, this mother.
That's when you saying that.
That's when
I'm saying it right now. That's the difference.
That means you don't have no expectation then.
What?
That's why she's dominating, my nigga.
Because you don't have no expectation.
She's dominating because
But before the start of the season, if I said Sheryl, Angel Reese is going to break the rebounding record and Caitlin Clark's going to break the assist record, that would be a far stretch and a reach of what was going to happen.
No, because you can't say that because you didn't do that.
But I'm just saying, if I would have came in and said that, hey,
that was the narrative.
Angel Reese is going to have the most rebounds in a single season in WNBA history. If I said that back in
if you had said that back in and said
both of them would have dominated.
She would have led in rebounding. We could have put the thoughts in.
He didn't say dominate.
If I said she's gonna set the
if you would have said
rebounding
it like that, I probably would have been like, okay, well, let me think what that record is.
See, but I wouldn't have said it because I wouldn't have thought that it would happen.
No, but what I'm saying, I'm just being real. But no, because nobody put it out there like that. No one asked the question.
We didn't have expectations.
No, what I'm saying is
because there was no expectations because nobody didn't think they were going to be that great to do that.
Record as a rookie, right? And then we would have said, okay, what is the rebounding record? Then we would have said, oh, she has to average this.
Jesus Christ.
I would have said, hell no.
We don't know.
I would have said, there's no way.
We would have said Caitlin Clark leading the league in scoring. I mean, in assists. We'd have to go back and say, I don't know.
With 18 in the league,
we wouldn't have had a definite.
We have a tweet. Carrington said, hey, listen up, ladies.
Who?
Carrington.
But time out. No.
Ladies.
Make sure you get the tweet right.
She might lead the league.
That ain't what she said. That ain't what she said.
What did she say?
Caitlin Clark just might lead the league.
That ain't what she said.
So that wasn't
time out.
That wasn't an X. So that means she's seen this coming then. A passing.
But that's not what she said.
What'd she say?
So first of all, you have to understand Dejanay and Alyssa Thomas are teammates. So Alyssa Thomas led the league in assists last year. Dejanay, in a jokingly manner, said only to AT, to Alyssa Thomas.
I have it.
She didn't say that to the league. You said, she said, listen up, ladies.
No,
you know you got to be correct on this.
She tweeted, Caitlin might lead the league in assists this year.
Time out.
It's Twitter space, and the ladies are Twitter.
Because I need to respond to this.
I'm saying that the ladies.
Yes, she tweeted to AT, Caitlin might break your assist record this year.
But she
AT responded and said, don't play with me. So let's keep going. So then I put laughing faces to what AT said. Because I was laughing at Alyssa Thomas being like, Nay, don't play with me.
This is my shit.
Yeah, she's like, Nay, don't play with me.
This is what I do.
But what's wrong with that, though?
No.
This is Deanna saying that Caitlin. This is what Deanna's saying, that Caitlin might just lead the league in assists. She's saying, listen, this girl is really like that, and she might do this.
Okay, yes. So that means the expectation of her passing very well, somebody's seen it.
Three people seen it.
But there's nobody was expecting her to average 30, right? Because no one put numbers on it.
Well, somebody would have tweeted that and be like, well, you're wrong. Like, obviously, she didn't average 30, she averaged 19.5.
Exactly.
But nobody on the other side is going to be
exactly.
That's bad thing. Nobody's going to say they average a 19.
But that's why, because no one put any numbers on it, everyone kind of, like, now everyone's definition is skewed. I think.
Come on, Gilbert.
Year 3.
Come on, Gilbert. That was a perfect
10, 27,
response with Rashad McCants on Dejanay on what she tweeted back in April.
Like, we know what fucking dominating means.
And Alyssa Thomas, for her to say, don't play with me, she was saying, no, she ain't going to get it. But look what Caitlin Clark ended up doing.
We call it GOAT status. She's moving in that direction of one day being in that category. Yes, we can see the trajectory now. Angel, next year, 13 and 15, 13. That's fucking possible.
Can I ask you a question then?
She's going to break her own record. You know why? Because she has a record now, and she's missed the last, 6, 7 games? So she's gave herself some wiggle room to keep breaking her record every year.
Is Caitlin Clark the best?
I'm sorry, but not just the rebound.
Not even close.
Caitlin Clark's not the best rookie?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. She's the best rookie, right?
This year, yes.
She's the best rookie.
Not even close, but it's not even close. It was never close.
But I have a question for you. Question for you, Sheryl.
I think it was close in the beginning.
If we wanted it to be.
No, to me it was.
So 3 WNBA MVPs in your career. Would you consider each of those 3 seasons as dominant seasons for yourself?
No.
Okay. See, well, we need perspective in life.
No.
So you were the best player in the W, but you don't think.
But I don't think I dominated.
Who dominated?
I thought, I don't know.
And the time that you was.
No, but I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know if I dominated. I played very well. And I played very well on both sides of the ball. But I scored, I rebounded, I defended. But to me, you can win MVP and not be dominant.
Okay, so being number one in your category doesn't mean that you're dominating your category.
Check this out, y'all. Check this out. What Sheryl Swoopes, now Sheryl Swoopes, you sound like you spitting a whole bunch of malarkey out your mouth. Because see, you're trying to sugarcoat on how you really felt that you was dominant. You ain't gonna tell me that Sheryl Swoopes didn't think that she was dominant when she was playing the game of basketball. Stop it, Sheryl. She's just now in this to kind of pat up her argument. She don't want to say that because she want to kind of come from a different perspective because of the argument you're trying to say that Caitlin Clark wasn't dominant as being the leading assist player in the league, and Angel Reese wasn't dominant being the leading rebounding in the league in history. Come on, man. Stop it. Stop it, Sheryl. It's okay to admit you were wrong.
If you're number one in points for the league, if you're number one in points, are you dominating the league because you're averaging 30, or are you just
what year did Kobe dominate? When he was like, this is the most dominant motherfucker in the league, and he's dominant. What year?
Probably 06.
What was his stats 06?
35 a game.
Okay. Dominated. Angel Wilson this year. What do we say?
Because here's my thing.
But the 35 wasn't the reason why he dominated.
But what I'm saying,
it was the consecutive points back to back to 40, the whole month of.
And we know these, but we know Caitlin's not there yet. We know what's coming, right? So that's why I don't want to put dominating on her now. Bro. Because I know what dominating is gonna look like when she gets into her shit.
Because right now she's playing tier levels to dominance, though. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Okay.
That her tier level is here at the base level.
Okay.
She's base level dominance. She's gonna emerge as she goes. So now she's on ground floor level, where I came in with all my peers. Oh, all y'all rookies in here. Y'all ain't on my level. Hey, Angel, you can step up. You're probably the closest one.
Okay.
Me and you gonna go to the next level.
I understand.
We get to take the elevator up.
But I don't know. I don't know if, like, yes, I think they both maybe exceeded expectations.
Yes.
But I don't think they dominated. Right?
I
don't think.
I know.
Sorry, because you're also saying that Angel's probably the closest thing to Caitlin. But however you want to look at that.
Just as far as
rookie of the year voting.
Rookie of the year voting, just like she's second, regardless of what anybody can say. Caitlyn's number one. She should be number two.
But I will throw in Rakia Jackson. The reason why I throw her in is because
for sure.
Even balling.
If Kurt Miller plays Rakia Jackson in the beginning of the season, like he's playing her now, Rakia Jackson to me is in that conversation.
No, she's an anomaly. She's an anomaly.
Yeah.
She's got that.
Without question.
Got it. She's got it.
All I'm saying is this right here. And y'all let me know how y'all feel, chat. At the end of the day, Caitlin Clark dominated in assists. She's number one. Angel Reese dominated in rebounds. She's number one. I don't care how you look at it. You can't just put it on points. There are different ways that you can affect the game and be the best or be dominant in without just relying on points. You can affect the outcome of game in different areas based off on your assists and based off on your rebounding. If y'all agree with that, chat, let me know in the comment section. Rashad McCants clearly won this debate hands down. Everything he was saying made sense. It bring logic, and he understand the game, and he won the debate against Sheryl Swoopes and Gilbert Arenas, hands down. That's all I have for y'all, man. And on this video, man, it was great. Give you my reaction and my thoughts based off on this conversation of the Indiana Fever and their rise to the playoffs, first ever for this team, and for what is being dominant in the WNBA looks like. And we saw dominance from Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. However, whatever your thoughts about both of these players, there is dominance from both sides in these players, and they they really took the game to another level in their own right by dominating in their respective categories, assists and rebounding. Y'all stay tuned to the next video. Take care.